Oh no, where did it drop to? Oh, here it is. Oh. It's early. Nobody's gonna be on. But I wanted to tell them about this dream that I had. Good morning. Bendiciones. Hold on. Oh, I thought there wasn't gonna be anybody on. Good morning. So I want to wait to see if like a couple of more people are going to come on before I start telling y'all about this dream. I had to put on my hoop earrings. I was mad hype. You ever had one of those dreams that it feels mad real? Like mad real. Desmond, prepárate. This story, well, this dream. Oh my God, Desmond, you don't even know about this dream. You don't even know about this dream, but you're about to know about this dream because it was so good. Like, honestly, it was so good. So, boom, right? I had this dream that I was just walking, right? Oh my God. We're talking about a dream. We're not talking about problemas, all right? Look, listen. I just woke up. Okay, I just woke up, so tate tranquilo. Y'all be doing too much in the morning. I don't know. But all jokes aside, I'm telling y'all about this dream. That's what we talking about. We talking about this dream, all right? We talking about this dream. So, boom. I'm here laying in the bed. Let me show you. Let me show you the little setup. Boom. I'm laying here. This is the pillow. I'm laying down, the little sleeping bag, the blanket, and boom. So I'm laying and I'm tossing and turning in the bed, right? In the truck. But it wasn't because I was tossing and turning because I was uncomfortable. There was moments in this dream that it got so real and so intense, como like I felt my body seizing up and I felt like just like, oh, tú sabes que, oh my God, oh my God. You know, I don't even know, but I love a really, really good hug, like a really, really good hug. And you know that sensation when somebody grabs you by the small of your back and then they pull you into them so that the hug is just so close, your body is smushed together. And it's almost like you inhale them in that moment. You just inhale them. You just fully relax and your body just stops tensing and you melt into that person's arms. Because they give you that reassurance. Child, this dream me tiene encendida. Like, I cannot with the dream. This dream is intense, man. Y'all don't understand. And I think it's because I was eating these Aussie-style cookies. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but hashtag not sponsored, Trader Joe's got these Aussie-style cookies. And it got me thinking about this Australian man, and I'm going to show you. Let me tell you why. So y'all can see. This is, so y'all can see porque yo tengo esta frescura. I got my water. Look at this cookie. Así de grande, un paquete tan grande. A package really big. And then you pull out the cookie, right? And mira. Eso se parece, I don't know. That looks a little something. Right? So look. This is the cookie, right? It's crumbly. It's crumbly. The chocolate is not too sweet. And then this little like cream. I don't know. This little cream is mad good. This is mad good. And I could see how this would taste good with like hot chocolate, almond milk, oat milk, whatever type of milk you like. Really, really good. So I was eating these cookies, and I feel like because I was eating these cookies and the way this felt, I was like thinking about an Australian man, because I was like, wow, I need to go to Australia if these cookies come from Australia. So boom, this is how the dream happened. This is how the dream happened. I was tossing and turning because there was moments of this dream that it was mad intense. And it was like almost like a body sensation. So boom. I was wearing this dress in the dream, right? I was wearing this dress. And yesterday, I don't know what it was, but I was feeling myself. I thought that I looked with my hair up like this and everything. I just thought that I looked so beautiful. Yesterday, I don't know if you caught me on the live on Instagram, but I felt so beautiful. Yo, sleeping, having good night's rest was everything I needed. I felt like a freaking revamped woman. I felt like, espérate. And somebody in my last live, they try to they try to read me. They said, girl, you do not shave your underarms. My underarms are shaven. El toto está shaven. The legs are shaven. Like, your girl felt like a whole new woman yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Your girl felt like a whole new woman, a whole new woman. Yo fue una mujer fina, like I was fancy. Like, could nobody tell me nothing? I was feeling my oats last night, yesterday, after I got off the live. I said, I look too good to be staying in this truck. I need to go for a walk. So then I went for a walk. I went to go get something to eat from Trader Joe's. I got this little snack pack. I got I got the little hummus and pita chips. So I ate hummus and pita. I ate some nuts. I ate some cheeses. I ate some fruit. And that's what I ate for dinner last night. I ate something really light, something cute, so that, you know, because I don't have access to a bathroom, I don't want to get too graphic. You know, you don't eat pesado because, you know, when you eat pesado, you have to use the bathroom. Pesado is like heavy. And I don't understand how I have 60 people and only 20 thumbs up. That's like coming to somebody's house with no, like, you know, am I the only one that grew up in a household? And I'm going to get back to the dream. But am I the only one who grew up in a household where whenever we went to somebody's house, my mother will always bring something? Like, she will always bring something, even if it was like a juice, a soda, bread, cheese. She will always bring something to somebody's house. She never just went empty-handed. I don't know. It's a tradition that I guess I grew up with. And to this day, when I go to like Casa Hannah, I don't just go with nothing, you know? I don't just go with nothing. So, boom. Back into the truck after I had my beautiful walk. I was feeling myself. I was feeling a little tired. I started watching Korean soap operas. I like to watch Korean soap operas. I find them more romantic. Oh my God. You see, like, American TV is real sexual. It's real sexual. It's like very like pow, 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 pow. Give it to me now, you know? Like, there's no romance. There's no nothing. So I was on my phone. I was watching a Korean soap opera. It's called Boys Over Flowers. It's on Netflix if you're interested. Hashtag not sponsored. But it's mad romantic, and they make everything so extreme and such a big display of romanticism. And everything is just so, you know what I'm saying, you know? Like, American TV doesn't have that. It's just so fast-paced. And for me, like, I just be craving somebody who's going to stimulate me mentally, like, in conversation. Have me to the point where I'm just like this. I can't take this anymore. I just need to feel your body, you know? But no, everybody's just so like, they give it up like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. That's why I started wearing glitter all over my body, because it seemed like every time I was trying to chill with somebody, siempre están ahí tocando and tocando and touching and touching. And I'm like, come on now. Come on. Like, we don't even know each other like that. Did you wash your hands? No, I don't even know your like cleanly etiquette. Like, I don't even know like who you are as a person. I'm trying to get to know you and you always want to be touching up on me. Like that is lame. That's tiring. That's over. So I just love when, like, in my case, I'm attracted to men. I don't know. I'm just sharing my experience. But I would just love to be in a situation where I'm getting to know a man and there is no rush. Like, we're just getting to know each other. We're building up that desire, that want, but not taking it past that limit of frecura, you know? Just really, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Oh, I'm so annoyed. So, okay. So whatever. I was just trying to read your comments to see like how y'all was gauging the story, but I'm going to continue on because I don't care. I mean, I do care, but like, I'm telling you the story. So, whatever. I just really like that. I want somebody to stimulate me, but not in that way. Like, just take me right toward the edge and then just drop me so that I can yearn for you. You know, that type of feeling where you go to sleep and you're just feeling on the bed and you're like, ¿a dónde está? Like, he's not here. And you're like, I don't even know how it feels to be in the bed with him, but I'm already thinking about it. I'm already yearning for him. It's because you're waiting. You're allowing that anticipation to build. And I feel like that's what I'm missing in life, is that everybody is just so straight to the point, straight to the point, straight to the point. And I'm like, how am I supposed to like get internally, mentally, physically, spiritually wet for you? Like, how am I supposed to like that? Like, I don't know you enough. I haven't craved you enough. I haven't thought about you. I haven't, you know, I haven't developed anything with you. Like, you know, annoyed. So I think I started watching Korean soap operas because I like the romanticism in it. So I'm watching Korean soap operas. I'm watching Boys Over Flowers on Netflix. And I'm laying right here. And then I doze off to sleep, right? And in my sleep, in my dream, this is what's eerie. I was walking here in LA in this dress, the same outfit. And I had a Starbucks drink. And I was just walking, and then this guy in a spider, I don't know what you call those, where it's one wheel in the back and then two wheels in the front and it's like all open and stuff. Well, I think it's called a spider. He was driving, right? So then, boom, he drives, swerves over, pulls over to the side, turns off the car, and me never seeing a car do something like that, I'm stopping because I'm nosy. You know me, I'm nosy. So I'm just staring there looking, and I see him stop the spider, but for some reason I can't move. I'm just standing there staring at him because I'm like, I'm already invested. I want to see what this man looks like. So he gets out of the spider and he like has to pull his legs out. And he's mad tall. He had a leather jacket, dark wash jeans with like a brass buckle, brown leather belt with these like, oh my God, like these cowboy style boots. And then he had like a V-neck shirt. And then he had like this one chain that was like on a leather rope, and it was like a circle. And then he had like this hair that was like this, and then he had it like in a bun like that. And then he had like some pieces down, and I was like, he took off the helmet, and I was like a strong jawline, real like, ooh, and he had like a nice thin pad of like chest hair, but real light, like real light. And I just stood there like mesmerized. I was looking at him and I was like, oh my God. So I was like frozen in the moment, and he started to come across the street, and in my head, in the dream, it was almost like he was coming in slow motion. But in reality, he wasn't coming in slow motion. So I just stood there, and then before I knew it, I was like in this whole daze. He was right in front of me, and he was like, I can't do an Australian accent, but he was like, what's a pretty young Barbie like you? You know, I don't know how to say that Aussie accent, and I don't want people to get upset with me. But he said it in an Australian accent. And I was like, huh? And he was like, do you speak English? And I'm like, yes, but like, is this real? And he's like, he started laughing, and I was like, am I tripping? So that's the point where I realized, because it felt so real. My dreams be feeling real. I was fully convinced that this was happening in real life. Up until the point where he started talking to me, and I was like, wait, is this real? And then boom, that's when I had the realization in the dream that it wasn't real, because it felt extremely real. I thought that I wasn't in the truck. I was still going on my walk. So now he's talking to me, and I'm like, oh shit, this is like a dream. Like, this is a dream. So, okay, cool, right? So then he starts talking to me. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just felt really beautiful, and I wanted to go on a walk. So he's like, is that so? Well, I've never heard anybody say that. And I was like, well, you've never met anybody like me. So boom. Now, dream Michelle is more braver than real life Michelle. Because in real life, if somebody mad attractive, mad tall was to come up to me, he came up to me. But in my dream, there was no COVID. You see, that's different. I don't like to dream with COVID. I know that sounds crazy, but my dreams be mad vivid. And ever since COVID started, my dreams, how long was this dream? Why? You in a rush? um, so listen. No, because I feel like people are getting mad bored with my story, but oh wow, this is my dream, I'm telling y'all. So, whatever. I don't like to dream with COVID. So this is how I also knew it was a dream, because there was no mascarillas. We had no mask. So he came right up to me. In real life, if a man was be that tall, he pulled up like right to me to say something to me, I would feel mad intimidated, and I would be like, back up off me. Don't be trying to like assert your dominance over me, like, because that worked a little bit. So boom, situation, we're talking, I know it's a dream, now I'm being flirty, because in the dream I could be more flirty. It seems like in my dreams I could be more free than I am in real life, because like in real life that wouldn't happen for me. It would be more complicated in real life. You know, in real life I have to deal with the fact that I'm trans. You know, like I don't get to just meet a guy off the street, have him tell me that I'm beautiful, and then ask me out on a date without me having to like constantly explain my existence because of societal ignorance. So in my dreams, it's different. In my dreams, it's so much better. I know it sounds crazy, but my dreams is so much better. I honestly, like, that's why I think it's going to be hard for me to find something to relate to in real life that makes me feel as amazing as my dreams. Because in my dreams, nothing's complicated about a man falling in love with me. There's nothing complicated about it. It's never an issue with his family. It's never an issue with how society is going to see it. It's never an issue about anything, you know? It was only in my dreams. La, 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 la. Only in my dreams. As real as it can seem. It was only in my dreams. Does anybody know that freestyle song? I love that song. Whatever. So fast forward, we're walking. And at this point, I was like, how is it that we just started walking? He was like, well, you said that you were going on a walk because you felt beautiful. And I wanted to be in the company of someone as beautiful as you. And I was like, where are you from? And he was like, oh, I'm from Australia. And I was like, really? You live here? He was like, well, I go back and forth for business, but I do own a home here. I was like, oh, let me tell you something. There is nothing more sexier when somebody says, it don't matter who they are. It could be female, male, alien, amphibian. I don't know. It could be any type of person. When they say they own a home, that instantly makes everything perk up. You're like, ooh, excuse me. You have a home. You're a homeowner. Okay. So that instantly made me like mad alert. I was like, oh, you have a home here in LA when you do business. What type of business you doing? But you know what? I didn't even want to ask too many questions. So I was like, oh, okay. He was like, are you free tomorrow? And I was like, depending on what time, I might just be hiking up a mountain the next day. I like to just experience life and I like to be present in the moment. So oftentimes I'm not looking at my phone. Mentira, because I'm always on live with you guys. I'm always over here talking some bochinche, some shit. Like I'm always on the live. So I don't even know why I was trying to flex like that, but whatever. I'm telling him all of this and he's like, well, would you like to have like a late dinner? Because I have some work and we can meet up around 6. I was like, that's a late dinner? I thought he was going to say something like 8 o'clock. He was like, well, does that work better for you? And I was like, no, not really. I was like, but where? He was like, I'll have a car pick you up in your house. And I was like, oh my God, I live in the truck. I don't want him to know. Da 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 da. So I Googled a place that had a for sale sign, like this mansion that had a for sale sign. And I told him that I wanted the car to pick me up there, right? Because I was like, okay, if he ever like sees the house, like I'd be like, oh, like I have roommate situations, I'm selling my home, whatever the case may be, right? Because I didn't want to tell him like straight up that I'm living in the truck. You got to ease into it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just drop it on somebody. Like, come on. I wanted to live the fantasy. I wanted to be Cinderella, I wanted to be like, Julia Roberts, and he could have been like Richard Gere, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna try to blow myself up like that. So, boom. I Googled a place, drove up to there, parked the car there, and then I freaking, oh my God. I freaking sat there and waited for the car to come pick me up. The car comes, picks me up, and it takes me up into like these Hollywood hills, right? Like the hill area. Up into like this mountain. There was like a house on the ledge of a mountain overlooking LA. So then boom, I go up there and I'm like, I thought we was going to a restaurant. Changed my outfit, took a shower in Target, all of that, right? So I thought we was going to a restaurant. He was like, well, such and such has, the driver told me, I forgot his name in the dream. It doesn't matter because he was mad sexy. But let's call him like Mr. Sexy, or let's call him Austin. His name is Austin, right? So he's like, oh, Austin has a 5-star chef that cooks in the house. And I was like, ooh, a 5-star chef. Who casually just has a 5-star chef? Who has just a chef on hand? I guess like the rich and famous, but whatever. So we get to there, then they lead me, like the person in the front door leads me up into like these winding staircases that overlooks the city view, right? And then there's a table out there with like a tablecloth, candles, there's flowers. And I was like, what is happening? He was like, I wanted to impress you. You seem like you're a real hard woman to impress. I was like, really? You do not know me because I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn, and this is really fancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we up in your mansion in the Hollywood Hills. You didn't tell me that you had a mansion. You said you was a homeowner. You did not say that you own a mansion. But these are all things that I'm saying in my head, right? And I'm like, just because you're from Brownsville doesn't mean that you don't know fancy things. Like, I know fancy things too. I know charcuterie boards. I know accoutrements. I know about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know about foie gras and, Gruyere cheese. And please, your girl is cultured. She's tried things, okay? On a budget, but she's tried things. And I know how to cook, so don't even act like you're going to pull out all this fancy. And that means that you're going to get some of my wop, because that's not happening. Like, please. I don't know what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, ew. So I'm already judging him because I'm like, oh, he's doing the most. He's doing the most. He's doing the most. But I mean, low key, I'm like, if he want to do the most, then apwe, I'm going to eat it up, right? So, boom, I'm having all these thoughts in my head. I'm sitting down and now I'm grilling him across the table. And he's like, what's up? He was like, nah, he didn't say what's up, but in my head I'm saying he's saying what's up. He was like, it seems like your demeanor has shifted. And I was like, do you do this with all your women? He was like, I didn't take you to be that type. I was like, what? What type? What type? Now I'm getting tight, right? So he's like, no, you seem like such a free spirit. And that seemed to be a question that came from insecurity. And I was like, calling me out, like calling me out on my nonsense. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to connect with me on a mental level? Are you trying to like dissect my psyche right now? Because I don't know, right now that kind of like got me a little stimulated. So then we just started talking about it. And then I was like, oh, I could see where you're coming from. But da-da-da. And then we just started having like this whole debate. And it went into this long conversation. And then the food came and it almost seemed like we weren't even paying attention to the food. And I was like, oh no, the food got cold. He was like, don't worry. So he grabbed both of our plates and he's like, follow me. So we go to the kitchen and he has like this little drawer that like it keeps the food warm. He was like, well, put it here while we continue the conversation. Do you drink wine? I was like, no, I don't drink wine. He was like, well, do you smoke? I was like, no. I was like, occasionally, but not really. So he was like, we could smoke. I was like, no, because I feel like if we smoke, I'm going to get lazy. Then I'm going to lay down and then I'm going to want to cuddle and stuff like that. And he was like, cuddle? And I was like, yeah, they don't say that in Australia. Like, when you wrap up with somebody and you be like, oh, like this and like that. He was like, oh, intimacy. And I was like, ew, why are you calling it intimacy? That's not intimate. He was like, he said intimacy is the most important thing to him. He's like, yes, it could be easy to, he was like, romance a woman and get what you want inevitably, but it's the buildup, it's the anticipation that he craves. And I was like, how old are you? And he was like, I'm 38. And I was like, you look mad young and stuff, and you mad tall. And like, I was like, ew, you know what I'm saying? So then we just started talking and stuff. And then it got late and I was like, okay, I'm going to go home. He was like, okay, I'll have the driver drive you back. Would you like me to accompany you in the car? And I was like, I think I want to remember you right here. Mentira. I just didn't want him to know that I was going to that thing and then going to the truck. So fast forward, he texts me. Now we're having all these conversations. He wants to have dinner with me every single night. He wants to go on this hike. And he also wants to take me skiing, right? So I told him I've never been skiing. So he takes me to like this store to get like a whole bunch of like skiing equipment and stuff like that. And I didn't question any of it because you ever felt like something is happening and you can't believe that it's happening, so you don't want to talk about it and you don't want to ask them anything because you almost like don't want to ruin it, because the minute you ask them like, so are we like, what are we doing here? Then they start getting like weird. So I didn't want to do that in the dream. I didn't want to do that because I wanted the dream to continue like mad nice. Because in a weird way, once I realize I'm having a dream, I can my brain sort of has a way that like like, even sometimes in my dreams, I'll be having negative thoughts where I'll overthink something. And I'm like, girl, this is a dream. Like, that's the purpose of a dream. There's no problems here. Let go of that insecurity, let go of all of that, and just enjoy the dream. So I didn't want to speak about anything because I didn't want to like make it like messed up in the dream. So the reason why I feel like I had a dream about this Aussie man because of these cookies is because when I first read the cookies, it said 11 cookies. But if you look at it, I thought it said 11 cockies. Like, for some reason, it looked like the word cock when you look at it. So I was like, ooh, 11 cock. 11 inches. ¿Qué eso? Wow. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It looked like 11 cocks. Like 11-inch cock. I was like, ooh. Let me find out. Your dream be mad interesting. Well, I kind of control my dreams. That's why. So this story is getting long and people are going to get upset. And I know that I'll just speed up the dream because it went longer than this. Because when I don't want to wake up, I can continue the dream. So my dream be lasting me all night. It'd be like a whole all night dream. So, boom, we're getting skiing stuff. He's getting hotel rooms at this like cabin. And I'm like, I don't know. Everything just seems like too like perfect. Like there's no tension. There's no nothing. Like what's going on? So then I asked him, I was like, what drew you to me? He was like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like I've seen your face before in a dream. I was like, ew, get out of here. Why is you trying it with the words and the poetry right now? Like, I was like, are all men in Australia like this? He was like, I can't speak for all men because I'm only me. And I was like, oh my God, like, why is you trying to finesse me right now? Like, and it's low-key working. You know when somebody is so smooth, but you feel like they feeding you the lines, but you eating it up? We've all been in that position where somebody is like whispering those sweet nothings in our ears, and we're like, come on now. But then you like this. No, keep on, because I like it. Como una lambona. You just be eating it up like this. Stop. Stop. Don't be kissing on my neck. Don't be kissing on my neck. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. I was eating it up. I was eating it up, right? But I was low-key feel like he was spitting game to me. So I was like, no, really, though. And I turned around, and then we was, like, face to face in that moment. Because I was, like, getting frustrated a little bit because I was like, no, like, really? And then we, like, locked eyes, and that's when he pulled me into him, right? For, like, our first, like, really intense hug. And he pulls me into him, and he grabbed me by the small of my back. And it was, like, almost like my back had to arch to get up to him. And we was, like, ugh. He's taller than me, so his face was looking down on my face, and my chin was on his chest, and I could feel the warmth and just, like, almost like his body molded into my body. And I could smell him. Like, you ever smelt the heat off of somebody's body? I know that sounds so crazy, but if you smell somebody when they're not hot versus you smell somebody when they're hot, is a different type of smell. Not like a stink smell. It's almost like, I like when somebody, you don't understand. You got to be with somebody for long enough. You have to be with somebody long enough. When you're with somebody long enough, you know what they naturally smell like what their essence is. I don't know, maybe it's the pheromones, but you know what a person naturally smells like when you've with them for long enough. If you pay attention, if you are a good lover. So because his body was so warm and I was laying up on his chest, it's almost like I could smell his body, his essence, his flesh. And it just sent like a quiver down my spine and my body. And then my nipples got hard. And because I had like no bra, I knew he could feel my nipples on his chest. And it was the most intense sexual but non-sexual hug I've ever had. It was like in that moment we could have ripped each other's clothes off, but at the same time we were so vulnerable, and I was just looking up at him and he was looking down at me, and we didn't say nothing. He just looked at my face and I felt like he was looking at me entirely, just piercing through my eyes down to my soul. And just breaking down every freaking wall and obstacle that I placed. And in that moment, I was just like mantequilla derretida in his hand, like melted butter. Child. And I felt him get hard. In the dream, I felt him get hard. Because he hugged me for what seemed like forever. And because he had bigger thighs than me, because he was a bigger man, se le estaba como like getting, an attention. And you saw it on the side of his jeans. So me, like a freca, I put like my leg in between his legs so that my thigh can kind of rub on it. Yeah. Child. You just know, listen, you just know when, oh my God. You never just had somebody that you just want them to like, come on, like rip everything off of you, just rip it and just throw you on the bed and just devour you in romanticism. Not nothing sexual and lustful, like just something like passion, like I'm so over this. Is that a sign from the universe that my Australian man is coming to open up the curtains of my sexual life? And he's ready to bring in the light that's going to illuminate my walls? Look what happened. That just like went from there and went shh and opened up the curtains. Wow. Is that a sign from the universe that my man is coming from Australia? So I need to get up and go for a walk to find him because he's not going to find me sitting in the truck? Is that the universe telling me to get up? Oh, wow. Espérate. Let me tell you something. The universe just gave me a sign, so I need to get off this live and make life happen. So, deuces.